Good evening. Hopefully this is live at the moment. I see that our Mad Mohawk Gaming live stream about to begin image doesn't quite cover the entire screen. That's a problem. But whatever. Whatevers. So anyway, we're back. This really has nothing to do with Mad Mohawk Gaming, although other than to boost our channel up a little bit, we are live streaming this via the Teradek Live to Air app on the iPad Pro. We're just using the front-facing camera on the iPad Pro. This software, especially for the free version, is pretty feature-rich. And then for $99 you can unlock the full version, or a more feature-rich version, because I believe even after you unlock it for $99 there are several other things that can still be unlocked as well. And so we're just dealing with that. Anyway, some of the things we do, or some of the channels we have, I should say, is, let's pull out a little bit. Some of the channels we have are, of course, Mad Mohawk Films, Mad Mohawk Gaming channel, the Eastern Motorsports channel, your racing destination, or your destination for racing information, whatever. Yeah, I haven't shaved. Shh. This one probably sounds better. Hopefully this one is public, this live stream. The previous one, I had it set to only me. So that's rather pointless. One of the flaws with this live-to-air app from Teradek for the free version is, if you can see, yeah, right there, the Teradek logo, you can't remove it in the free version. It's there watermarking in the free version, which really isn't a big problem, but, you know. So, that's there. And also, you are limited to a half an hour of streaming in the free version. Still, not a monumental problem, considering it's free software and how powerful it is. So, I really, let's pull out a little more. I wish we could set these as presets. Hopefully in an update they'll add that so that I can do a close-up, a medium shot, and a wide. But anyway, this is actually zoomed in slightly on the face camera, or FaceTime camera, of the iPad Pro. And considering it's not the greatest camera in the world on the front-facing camera, it's not bad. I have a little desk lamp set up to provide light, and I also have the room lights on. So anyway, like I was saying, we have several channels on YouTube. We beg you, please, go check them out. If you like them, subscribe, give thumbs up, all that. Share with your friends, anyone who you think would like it. We have Mad Mohawk Gaming channel, Mad Mohawk Films. We have the Eastern Motorsports channel, which is your destination for racing information. And then we have the Gravesend Paranormal channel, which was kind of short-lived. We really didn't do a lot with it. For a while we were going to a meetup group, and we went ghost hunting in Prospect Park near the zoo, which is part of the Battle of Long Island, aka the Battle of Brooklyn, during the Revolutionary War, and there was a huge battle fought there. And I'll just say that there's a certain spot there that we were at, and it gave me the heebie-jeebies and gave my partner the heebie-jeebies. And we didn't see anything or hear anything out of the ordinary, but something wasn't right there. But we did it, and we haven't really had a chance to do it again, which is unfortunate because it was kind of fun. And I brought my full spectrum camera, my GoPro that allows me to use an infrared light, and it would, even though I couldn't see, the camera could see as if it was daylight because of the infrared light. It's amazing. And it's a matter of just removing a little red filter off the lens of the GoPro. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with anything. As well as those 4 channels, then we have a few channels that we run as a sort of a mini MCN for some friends of ours. We have Goddess GGG, who we race with in Assetto Corsa and Project Cars. We have Eddie Navas, the Cinema Indian, who races with us. And then we have one more with the coolest name ever, Los Cruceros, New York. He also races with us. So, and they all have channels, although their channels are kind of only a few videos for the most part. I think Gigi has the most at like 40 videos. And a lot of them are not racing. There's a fair number of Call of Duty games as well. Anyway, so this live streaming stuff, it's going to get more and more pushed because Facebook is really pushing it. At some point, hopefully they monetize it the way YouTube monetizes videos, where creators, the person on the video, can actually make money with it too, through the ads that Facebook sells, which is how Google makes money for YouTube. Although from all indications, from what I hear, Google actually loses money on YouTube. But they do make a fortune on the advertising between the website and blogs and all that. So it kind of offsets. It's like a loss leader, kind of like the way they sell consoles for console gaming, where the hardware costs more than what they sell it for. Pardon me. But they do that. It's the old Gillette business plan. Give away the handle and make your money on the blades. Same thing. On the consoles, they sell the console hardware cheaper than it costs them to make, but they make it back in game sales, DLC sales. Now Xbox and PlayStation both have the yearly fee if you want to go online to play. It's $60 a year, I think, or $50 a year, which is about the price of another game. So that's what they do. So I'm hoping that these live streaming platforms become advertising friendly, where they split the profits with the creators. Another problem with, well, it's not really a problem, but it's a limitation of the live to air app. For the free one, you're limited to a 30-minute stream. When you pay the $99 to unlock the program and get the pro version, it has no limit, and you don't get that logo there. And by the way, that live up in the right corner is an overlay, and you can overlay all kinds of stuff, including like that Teradek logo, but in this case, it's there as a watermark to show, hey, this is the free version. So anyway, Teradek makes 3 of these programs. There's this one, which I believe is only for iPad, and I don't think you would want to use it on the phone because there's like so much going on. You'd be like, huh? You'd be squinting because there's so much going on, and you'd have all these little boxes, and you'd be hawk-eyed by the end of the thing you're doing. But they do have one for the phones called Live to Air Solo. By the way, it's not Live TO Solo. It's Live Solo. But Teradek says that's the name, Live to Air. So anyway, Live to Air is the one for the iPad. Then you can use Live to Air Solo on the iPad as well, obviously, but it's really made more for the phone. Or if you're going to just use one camera and one of their video units where you can plug in any camera that gives an HDMI signal, a clean HDMI signal out, and it'll let you also use that and switch between them as well. I think you can use one camera view from the iOS device and one from a VidiU device. And I believe it also lets you use an RTSP feed as well. But don't hold me to that. I could be mistaken, because I've been using a lot of these applications. Things you can't do in this app is, like, if you go to Facebook's page in the Facebook app on your phone or on your iPad or your Google tablet, whatever, you just go in and hit publish, and then you hit the button that says live, and you go live. But it lets you do some overlays, but they're silly, like Snapchat kind of overlays, where, like, the other day I had a raccoon head on, so it was for the new movie with Groot there, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and there's actually a little Groot next to you in the shot, and so you gotta, from the upper lip up, you have, like, Rocket's raccoon head on you, and Groot's standing next to you, like, Anyway, I'm rambling here. Anyway, then there's a third app from Teradek called Live to Air Remote. And what you use that for is if you have another iPad, or you have an iPhone, or even an iPod Touch, I guess, would work, as long as it would use iOS 10. And what you do with that, you put that on there, and then the Live to Air app picks that up as an additional camera. So you can have multiple cameras and switch between all these different cameras depending on how many devices you have. And a lot of families, you know, you, the wife, the kids, all have an iPad or an iPhone. So now you go, hey kids, let me borrow your phones, and you can do a multi-angle camera shoot and look really pro, but while you're using a bunch of consumer gear, which is kind of cool. But again, in this Live to Air app and the Live to Air Solo, you can't do all those crazy Snapchat-like filters that... why does the color keep changing every time I wave my hand over here? That's kind of strange. I'm using just a little desk lamp that's clipped onto a tea table. Love using tea tables for everything. I have the tea table set up for my steering wheel for sim racing. And then there's some old boards covered with some felt, and I have the pedals mounted to that. And it works really well. Instead of buying a $400 or $500 or $2,000 sim racing rig. Some people have more money than others. And then again, if you watch some of these videos on YouTube, there's a guy, Unbox Therapy, who showed one that he built, or that he had access to. I'm not sure if it was his or they just gave him access to it. It was like 35 grand. But, you know, I'm sure it was a little better than my PlayStation 4. A little bit. So anyway, if you're going to do this, unfortunately, the Teradek apps are iOS only. But you can just use the Facebook app and do this. You just lose some of this functionality of zooming in and out on the image. See, like, I can zoom out, or I can zoom in and get the extreme close-up here. Let's save that, and doom! And now it's the eyeball cam, and I can be evil. Don't look into my eyes. I will hypnotize you and make you do ridiculous things. Anyway, let's go back to where we were at. Give me half a moment, and so I can zoom back out a little bit. And let's save that, and there's just like a little T-bar that pulls down, or you can hit, there's buttons as well, and it'll let you just hit, and it'll transition to the other shot. I mean, well, it's the same camera. I just pinched and brought it up and down. So anyway, like I was saying, the Teradek apps, so far as I know, are all iOS only. Android, not yet. But again, you can't do those crazy, like, Snapchat filters with, like, Rocket raccoon's head on you and Groot standing next to you just like wobbling around, or the Elton John sunglasses, or you can have the minions running around by you, all kinds of crazy things. And if you like that, they are fun, you know. You can do that right from the Facebook app. And that'll work on Android or iOS, or your desktop for that matter, if you have a webcam. Which, if you got a webcam, if you're going to do it from a desktop and you don't have a webcam, best webcam to get for quality is the Logitech C920. It's about $60, very high quality 1080p video. It's probably better quality video than what I'm getting from this face cam on the iPad for $60. And you just plug it into the USB port, and Windows or your Mac or even Linux, I would assume, should pick up the drivers automatically, and then you'll be able to stream live right from the Facebook app. Or if you're doing it on a computer and it's a halfway decent...
I'm not quite sure.
Shut up, Alexa. Alexa's heard her name. If you're doing it from a computer, you can actually download OBS, which is free, which is Open Broadcaster, or Open Broadcast Software, or Wirecast. There's a free version of for YouTube, and there's a myriad other ones, Gamecaster, and there's a lot of free ones now. And you could use those and do all kinds of crazy overlays as well. To the best of my knowledge, none of them have those Snapchat-like filters. Facebook now has them. If you use the Facebook app, you can add those and overlay. Pardon me. What in the world was that? I don't know what I just saw, but anyway. So, we're down to we've been doing this 18 minutes or so. Anyway, there's other iOS apps to do this. I'm sure there's Android apps that'll let you live stream. In fact, on YouTube, you can live stream right from the YouTube gaming app, if I'm not mistaken. And I think you can even do game play through that. I've tried it, and my phone got so hot that it was ridiculous, though. Because I have an old Android phone in the drawer. My old Google Nexus 4, which still works like a champ. It's just the battery doesn't hold up at all anymore. So, there is ways to do it on Android, but I haven't seen anything that is as nice as this Teradek software, these three programs. If I had unlimited funds, there's a new camera. In fact, it's an official Facebook camera now, in fact, called the Mevo. It's from a company here in Brooklyn called Livestream, and you can use it to Livestream, which is a platform, or to Facebook, and I believe you can do it to YouTube as well. And what it is it's got a 150 degree of field of view lens, which is a super wide angle or a fisheye lens, kind of like a GoPro. And the software, since you only live stream at either like 720 or 1080p, it crops in on the sensor, and it can simulate like 9 different shots from that one shot. And it'll also follow who's talking. So if you have several people in the shot, it will actually follow whoever's speaking and zoom in on them, which is kind of cool. I just don't think it's quite cool enough for me to buy it for $400. In fact, I'm hoping that some of the app writers see what it can do and add that type of functionality to do it with action cameras like the GoPro, because the GoPros have 160 or 170 degree field of view, so it's an even wider fisheye, and 4K as well. So it's essentially the software that's the amazing thing to me about the Mevo, not the camera itself. The camera itself is essentially, it's an action camera with a 4K sensor, and I believe it's a 4K Sony sensor. Anyway, rambling around, having a good time with this. I recommend you try it. It's fun. Hopefully there's folks watching. In fact, I didn't even look to see if anybody's watching. It don't look like it, but that's not unusual, because I didn't pre-plan this. It's just, let me see what I'm doing, and it's a way to keep me sitting upright, because my back has been going crazy for the last week, and it's finally starting to chill out. So I'm trying not to do anything that would make my back start spasming again. So anyway, definitely recommend these things to check them out if you're at all interested in live streaming. And just because, you can follow us on Twitter at Mad Mohawk Films, Instagram at Mad Mohawk Films, and Snapchat at Mad Mohawk Films, although I can't figure Snapchat out at all. It's like, how do I see my friends' stories? I keep seeing stuff about Kim Kardashian and people I've never heard of that are obviously supposedly famous. But like the few friends that I have in Snapchat, I don't see nothing from them. So, but yeah, it's cool. If you have a product, say you're a DJ or a karaoke jockey, Mike, Sarah, and Deb, you guys can use this to promote your businesses. Or you sell jewelry, come on, oh, this is the latest ring we've created, and check it out, and it's on sale now for Mother's Day or whatever. And it's a good way to push sales. And since it's new, Facebook is really pushing hard with promoting live video. Although obviously not that hard, because I've got nobody watching, so. But it is a public video, and it stays on Facebook forever. And I believe this time I didn't leave it as a private video only for me. So anybody in the future can go and watch this video. It'll make Facebook money, but it won't make me any money until Facebook figures a way to do some profit sharing with folks, which really they've been talking about for a long time, but so far I haven't, other than like big shots, like you see George Takei from Star Trek come on here all the time, and I'm sure he's getting paid. But, you know, little fish like me, they haven't gotten to us yet. Although, like if I was live streaming this on YouTube, if anybody watches it ever, I get a piece of the revenue that they make. In fact, I get 55% of whatever the revenue is. Now, depending on what it is, will depend on the advertisers. The advertisers, I better cut this off soon. The advertisers recently have pulled out in a big way on YouTube. They lost almost $1 billion in advertising revenue, from what I read. So, people's revenue have dropped significantly, depending on what their channels are about. Like my filmmaking channel, Mad Mohawk Films, I haven't noticed a big drop there. Maybe a couple of percent. Other channels, like the gaming channel that has a lot of violent video games and more mature video games, that I've seen the revenue drop about 60%. So it depends on what it is. And then if you curse a lot and you talk nonsense about other people on there, then you're going to end up getting demonetized even possibly, and it'll tell you that that video is not advertising friendly, so they demonetize it, and you don't make any money on it, no matter how many people watch it. 1 billion people could watch it, and you don't get nothing. But I'm pretty sure YouTube doesn't get anything either, because if they deem it not advertiser friendly, they're not putting ads up against it, because they were getting people doing hate speech and all kinds of crazy things, and advertisers like, I don't want to be associated with this. So try it. If you have an iOS device, definitely check out the Teradek live to air apps. There's 3 of them. There's also Studio Switcher, or Switcher Studio Go and Switcher Studio Pro. They're sort of free. They're like trial versions. And then there's another one called Chameleon that I just discovered today in one of the live streaming forums. And that's free as well, if I'm not mistaken. At least they didn't ask me for any money. Maybe it's a trial. After 2 weeks, they're going to go, if you want to keep using this, give us money. So, and like I said, you can even just use the Facebook app to stream. Lighting, important. Don't rely on the lights in the house. If you have a little desk nearby, get a little desk lamp and point it at you. I mean, I'm using it's a rinky-dinky little gooseneck desk lamp with a frosted LED bulb in it. It's probably 13 watts, but 13 watts is the equivalent of 60 watts in an incandescent bulb. And it's frosted, so I'm not getting blinded right now, and it's not making me look like I'm 20 years older than I am, even with my stubble. And that's about it. So give it a shot. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Mad Mohawk Films, Mad Mohawk Gaming, Eastern Motorsports, and the others I mentioned, and on the other social networking channels like Twitter and Twitch and all that. So have a great night. Bye for now. O nagi wahi. Yes, I would like to stop the broadcast.